Have you ever felt like the harder you try to achieve something, the further away it seems to slip? In the pursuit of our goals and desires, we often believe that hard work and relentless effort are the keys to success. However, there is a principle known as the backwards law, or the law of reversed effort, which suggests that the more we strive for something, the more it tends to elude us. This concept, popularized by the philosopher Alan Watts and teachings from Zen Buddhism and Taoism, invites us to consider a different approach. In Zen teachings, for example, there is a story that illustrates the backwards law in action, the story of the Zen master and the student. A student approached his Zen master and asked, "Master, how can I find enlightenment?" The master replied, "Do you hear the sound of the stream outside? Go and meditate on that sound until you become one with it." The student followed the master's instructions diligently, but no matter how hard he tried, he could not merge his mind with the sound of the stream. Frustrated, he returned to the master and said, "I have tried everything, but I cannot find enlightenment." The master smiled and said, "That is because you are trying too hard. Enlightenment is not something to be grasped. It is already within you, waiting to be discovered when you stop seeking it." So what are the concepts followed in the backwards law? 1. The more you pursue something, the more it eludes you. This concept challenges the common belief that the harder you work for something, the more likely you are to achieve it. Instead, it suggests that there is a delicate balance between effort and allowing. When we become overly attached to a particular outcome and strive for it desperately, we may unintentionally create resistance that blocks its manifestation. This doesn't mean we shouldn't pursue our goals, but rather that we should approach them with a sense of openness and detachment, allowing them to come to us in their own time and in their own way. 2. Effortlessness is key. This doesn't mean being lazy or passive. It's about finding a state of flow where actions come naturally and effortlessly. This state is often characterized by a sense of joy, ease, and alignment with the present moment. When we are in this state, we are more in tune with our intuition and more open to receiving guidance from the universe. Effortlessness also involves trusting that things will work out as they are meant to, even if the path is not always clear. This trust allows us to let go of the need to control every aspect of our lives and to surrender to the greater wisdom of the universe. 3. Paradoxical nature of desires. When we intensely want something, we are often coming from a place of lack or scarcity. We believe that once we attain this desire, we will be happier, more fulfilled, or more complete. However, this intense desire can actually create a barrier to achieving what we want. This is because our focus on the absence of what we desire can reinforce that absence in our lives. To overcome this, we have to shift our focus from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance. Instead of desperately wanting something to fill a perceived void, we can cultivate a sense of gratitude for what we already have. By appreciating the abundance that already exists in our lives, we can attract more positive experiences and outcomes. 4. Indirect approach. This concept suggests that sometimes the most effective way to get what we want is not to focus directly on the end goal, but to pay attention to the process and the journey. This approach involves being open to different possibilities and allowing room for creativity and spontaneity. It means being willing to explore new paths and to adapt to changing circumstances. Instead of just following a specific plan, we remain flexible and open-minded, ready to seize opportunities as they arise. By taking an indirect approach, we also allow ourselves the freedom to enjoy the journey itself, rather than viewing it as a means to an end. We can then have a greater sense of fulfillment and satisfaction, as we are able to appreciate the growth and learning that occurs along the way. 5. Surrender and acceptance. It's about trusting in the process of life and having faith that things will unfold as they are meant to. Surrendering and accepting does not imply passivity. Instead, it is an active choice to release resistance and allow things to flow naturally. It involves being open to new possibilities and being willing to let go of the need to constantly control outcomes. When we surrender and accept, we are able to approach life with a sense of peace and equanimity, even when we face uncertainty. So what aspects of your life could benefit from a more effortless approach? Consider where you might be holding on too tightly and where you could surrender more fully. As we navigate our lives, it's important to remember the wisdom of the backwards law. If you found wisdom from this video, consider sharing it with others who might benefit from it.